There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles. I meant as a suspect, Rusty.
Hallo meine Freunde, was geht ab? Mein Name ist Daniel und wir zocken eine Runde LA Noire. Vielen Dank, dass ihr wieder einschaltet, meine Freunde. Jeden Tag um 18 Uhr ein neues Video, also abonnieren lohnt sich. Ich würde mich freuen über ein Like und über einen Kommentar. Das wäre sehr, sehr schön und wir sind jetzt am Schnapsladen.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
Got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. Now, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store. That was never going to work out, was it?
We'll take a look around. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Einfach mal auf dem Bett rumlaufen. Sonst haben wir hier nichts.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
You talked about McCaffrey.
Supposedly he fought in the International Brigade in Spain and in the miners' strikes back in Virginia.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Okay. Noch ein bisschen Liquor mitnehmen.
You can drive. And where exactly are we going?
Bowlingbahn. Wir müssen aber nochmal zur Bar. Irgendwas haben wir da übersehen oder ich habe da irgendwas übersehen. Waren da noch Gäste drin oder bin ich einfach nur zu blöd gewesen?
11 King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central. Code 2.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
Fahren wir jetzt zum Revier oder zur Bowlingbahn? Fahren wir zum Revier oder zur Bowlingbahn? Zum Revier.
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
Komm, wir gehen wieder vor.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
Ja, wir rufen mal schnell an. Dann haben wir vielleicht die Adresse. Ist das der Typ, der da schreibt, oder was?
Dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you.
Ich glaube, das war der
I heard
Kerl.
he's an honest cop. Now there's an oxymoron for you.
Also dieser Schriftsteller da, dieser Autor.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
Erstmal zur Bowlingbahn.
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What's it got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Bin gespannt, was jetzt passiert. Erstmal die Bowlingbahn, da quatschen wir dann mit denen. Die hat da bestimmt auch zwischendurch mal geschlafen oder so. Strike.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
We're conducting an investigation, ma'am. Do you know the name Evelyn Summers?
Sounds like I should. Oh, maybe it could be Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy?
James Tiernan. He's a pin setter. One day he introduced me to a lady after work. It stuck in my mind because she was much older, too old for him.
Where can we find Jimmy, Florence?
He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
The only reason some people
Fuck,
get
fuck,
is
fuck.
that goddamn waitress.
Das hat sich doch gerade verpisst, oder nicht?
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
Schöner Wagen. Gefällt mir.
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight.
Autonah.
These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn.
Scheiße.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to lam it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means, Phelps.
Komm schon, mein Auto muss doch
If this
dreimal
isn't the killer,
schneller
we can at
sein.
least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Go up through the square.
I hope the people see him in time to get out of the way. What if they run because someone's setting them up? Because they feel like the deck is stacked against them?
Don't make up ridiculous stories for them, detective. Leave that to the perp's imagination. Whoa, looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill himself.
It's all right, as long as he doesn't kill us, I'm okay with it.
Fuck that, Alter.
Oh my God, this kid's crazy. He's gonna kill us. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires. That is the end of that. It's about fucking time.
Give it up! LAPD!
Fuck, ein Zug. Ja, hab ich
Don't pass
Scheiße,
that
ey.
train, Phelps.
Und gar keine Chance mit dem zu reden, oder was? Das Auto gefällt mir besser.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Revier, ich denke mal, da können wir mit dem quatschen dann. Entweder das oder das war einfach ein... Der sagt uns nichts. Ja, wir gucken mal, ob er im Interview-Room ist. Im Interview-Room ist nichts. Ich glaube, hier war Interview-Room. Okay, gut. Das heißt, wir können nicht quatschen. Das Zentralrevier war dann also einfach nur ein Bug.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Zum Apartment. Zum Apartment. Es geht zum Apartment von McCaffrey.
McCaffrey is in apartment 6.
Apartment 6. So. 1 und 2, 3 und 4. Das heißt, wir müssen einmal nach oben. Zu Apartment 6. 5 und 6 geht nach links. Hier ist es.
Doesn't look like anybody's home. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
I heard he's an honest cop. Now that's an oxymoron for you.
Wo geht's denn lang jetzt? Hier lang? Er wirft gleich mit der Taube auf uns.
Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
I'll go get our wheels.
Wo will er denn nur hin?
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
Kein Auto? Ganz komisch. Normalerweise wäre jetzt ein Auto in die Ecke gekommen. Aber das kommt jetzt, ne?
Give it up! LAPD!
Wo ist mein Kollege? Kommt er mit dem Auto oder nicht?
McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
Wir haben ihn. Ich wette mit dir, sie hat ihm irgendwie gesagt, dass sein Buch scheiße ist.
It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson...
Ja, ich denke mal, sie hat gesagt, sein Buch ist scheiße oder irgendwie sowas, er wird nie was werden. Und deswegen hat er sie umgebracht, weil er einfach ein Ego-Problem hat.
His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Also das Spiel ist auch ein bisschen einseitig, finde ich. Irgendwie fühlt sich alles gleich an, nur ich bin halt nicht so gut in diesem Verhörscheiß. Ich bin müde. Einfach nur müde, Freunde.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young Phelps.
Wir gehen erstmal zu Room 1. Da ist der Typ vom Bowling Center.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Okay.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. He had nothing but vitriol for her.
Mann, bin ich schlecht. Jetzt weiß ich aber, der Typ hat sie umgebracht und wollte es dem anderen in die Schuhe schieben.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Come on, Tiernan.
Either
you killed her or she left the hotel. Why did she leave?
Look, I may have yelled at her. I was very drunk. It's hard to remember.
Alles falsch.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
No, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
Ich bin so schlecht da drin. Wir gehen jetzt hier erstmal interviewen.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
Doesn't look good, Grosvenor. It's either you or Tiernan from where we're sitting.
Personally, I think Evelyn is better off. But I had nothing to do with it.
Mann, bin ich scheiße, ey.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
And you have someone who can corroborate your story?
Unfortunately, no.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
If it was planted there, then some evil mastermind must be at work here. You got a name, McCaffrey?
Tiernan. Who else?
I was under the impression you thought Tiernan incapable of tying his own shoelaces.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
Mann, war ich schlecht.
Grand jury case got thrown out. Now the
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks for your help. You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch.
What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
Fall abgeschlossen. Fragen haben wir sehr gut gemacht. Seht ihr das? Gut, die Freunde. Ich bedanke mich herzlich fürs Zuschauen. Wir sehen uns dann in der nächsten Folge wieder. Ein neuer Fall, ein neues Leben. Also bis dahin, macht's gut und ciao.